Hello everyone, this is Dow85 here with another video. Here, this is basically just gonna go through sort of my predictions slash thoughts on the upcoming Electronic Entertainment Expo, or E3 for short. As we know, this is occurring this week now, June, the first week of June, when it usually sort of happened in the last 2 years around July, and before that during May, but this time it's going to be in June, and it's sort of going back to where it was sort of before. It's going back to the Los Angeles Convention Center because it wasn't there in the last 2 years. 2007 it was at Santa Monica, and I forget where it was last year. I think it was in Los Angeles somewhere, but not the convention center, could be wrong. But it's going sort of back to where it was before, and it should be an interesting show this year, to tell you the truth though. Mainly because we know some games it's going to be there anyway. Like, there is certain games that we know it's going to be there, we're going to see more of, and basically find out probably when they're going to be released and whatnot. But there is certain games, there probably is certain games that you probably might think it's going to happen, that could happen though, and some announcements. Like always, the press conferences are usually sort of the big thing, and to start off the E3 show, of course, and sort of see what kind of announcements come out of it now. Like last year, a lot of people sort of think the big thing that came out of the press conference was the announcement of Final Fantasy 13 on the Xbox 360. I saw that coming, to tell the truth. I wasn't so shocked by it because they brought the guy out from like Square Enix, and it had to be something there. And like basically, once it says that this is going to be something about Final Fantasy 13, and I was right. It's Final Fantasy 13 game on the 360. I wasn't surprised by that. I saw it coming. And this year, there's rumours speculating about Metal Gear Solid 4 coming to 360. Like, there's this whole countdown, or 50 of them are in over Konami slash Kojima site, Kojima Productions site, doing these countdowns, and one of them had a picture of sort of Big Boss slash Naked Snake, so it did, and it looks interesting though. Could it be something to do with Metal Gear Solid 4 coming to the 360? Could it be some sort of, another prequel perhaps? It could be something to do with Metal Gear Solid 5, if it's actually going to happen. Honestly, I don't think they should do Metal Gear Solid 5. If they're actually going to do like another Metal Gear game, it should something to do with like Raiden perhaps, or another character. And because I feel that story with Snake should sort of just end it though, but in Metal Gear Solid 4, and to me it just sort of pretty much sort of just spoiled it really for people who really enjoyed like Metal Gear Solid 4, just to have another game really, because I don't think 4 could be topped though, honestly. Like, I'm not a huge MGS fan, but 4 was brilliant in my opinion though, and I don't think any Metal Gear Solid game that comes out will sort of top that game, in my honest opinion. But I'll just have to wait and see if that actually will happen though. Some people say it might, some people say it doesn't. As I said, the first things to start it off is the whole press conferences. We don't really know what to expect that's going to come out of them. Like, the Microsoft ones first this year though. I'm sure they'll show things like Halo 3 ODST perhaps though, and maybe a few other things though, but you don't really know what's going to really come out of the shows this year, because some things are sort of still like pretty much up in the air. Like, you don't know what to expect though, to tell you the truth though. But I hoping to see some sort of big announcement that will go like gas. Like, I think I would absolutely love what happened, and I know it's not going to happen, but I'd honestly love to see a certain rare game come to Xbox Live Arcade with online play. And if they've done Banjo Kazooie and Banjo 2, they can honestly do this game, and that game is Conker's Bad Fur Day. I'm not talking about the Live and Reloaded version that was on the Xbox, because quite frankly that one is pretty much inferior to the old one on the N64. but I want that game to be on Xbox Live Arcade. Or just not the whole single player, pretty much. Just basically have the multiplayer part of it though, and have his online play. That I'd still pay for that. That would be awesome. To tell you the truth, I would love for that to happen though. And it could though. It could happen. You never know. Like Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, like I think they're sort of great sort of ports. Like the graphics were enhanced quite a good bits of the war, and I'm looking forward to seeing if there's going to be any other games from Rare or whatever that's going to come to Xbox Live Arcade. Like GoldenEye would be one, but that was sort of ones made by ones who are part of Free Radical, and other ones who are like gone elsewhere now, to tell you the truth, so I don't think that's going to ever happen really. There might be some sort of announcement probably made concerning Gears of War 2 perhaps. They might make that happen on the PC, but I've heard news that probably won't happen. But you never know, it could. Probably be some news concerning maybe Fallout 3 DLC, or maybe that Fallout Vegas game perhaps. There might be some news on it perhaps as well coming out of the conference. But there's just certain, you just don't know what to expect though. There might be some like big announcement that might just take you by surprise, and it might be just sort of, you know, bog standard stuff you like say, oh I saw that coming or whatever. But it's going to be interesting though anyway though. Like Microsoft usually has one of the better press conferences though, in my honest opinion. Like I think 2007 was good just because it had like chock-a-block full of games that you just want to see more of, and basically got your wish there. And then it'll be like Ubisoft and EA ones, so there will be now. Of course Ubisoft's going to have something like Assassin's Creed 2, which I couldn't care about because I'm not fond of the first one. The game's fun for like the first few hours, but then it pretty much runs dry afterwards because you're pretty much doing the same thing over and over again. There's just no versatility to it, just no variety to it. And that's some games I kinda hate though. Like sure, most games are like that, but some games hate it better than others. If you catch my drift, that's pretty much the thing. Like some games, like people could say Oblivion's way repetitive. It is repetitive, but it hates it better than some games that pretty much say, oh this is repetitive, and it doesn't try to hide that fact. They might have something on Splinter Cell, because I don't think you've heard anything about Splinter Cell at all in like quite a while, and it has to be some sort of news in it perhaps. And I'm planning there might be a new Tom Clancy game perhaps as well, a new Rainbow Six, or maybe Ghost Recon or something. And so this is just what to expect though. And EA will be different. They'll have all like the usual probably like sports titles, which I couldn't care about. They have like probably some more Rage, and they might announce, I think Valve has as part of EA now as well, they might announce Half-Life Episode 3, which I know a lot of people would very much like, because they're just pretty much just waiting, because it's been like 2 years coming now since Episode 2 was released, and I don't think there's been any word on the third one. Little to no word about it since then. And that's pretty much sort of what's happening in the first day now. It's going to be interesting indeed, and what's to come out from it in terms of announcements. Like I always enjoy the press conferences nonetheless anyway, and to see what sort of kind of surprises come out of each of them. As I said, there's another announcement I'd love to see happen. I just hold on to a hope that actually happens every year, but it never does. And that is basically some sort of announcement that Shenmue 3 actually exists. Because I am very much a huge fan of Shenmue. I adore Shenmue 1 and 2. They're some of my favourite games of all time. They're in the top 5. And I just love to see it. I love to see a third one though, because it just kind of sucks though that it just ends like that. Like you never got a proper conclusion to the game though, and it really sucks because of that though, and I really hate it. That it doesn't have a proper conclusion. Like some games out there, I think might have had like some sort of story to them as well, and I probably never got. Like TV shows are the same though, that never got a proper conclusion. Dungeons and Dragons, which is an old cartoon back in the day, never got a proper conclusion, and it's the same thing with Shenmue. I know I'm kind of sort of like maybe rambling on, going a bit off topic though, but it just sort of just comes to that really, to tell you the truth. Um, but anyway, that will do for part one, and I'll come back in part two for sort of my predictions for like the other press conferences and sort of what other stuff I'd like to see from the show. So until then, see ya.